Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today I want to share with you 3 of my most popular casserole dishes. Now, these are dinner recipes that you can put together in less than 10 minutes, okay? So this is something for weeknights. This is something if you are on a weight loss journey, if you are trying to focus on protein, okay? These are loaded with protein. They're very nutrient dense. So this is something that is also keto friendly. This one here in particular, which we're gonna be starting with, is like a chicken fettuccine Alfredo, but of course we're gonna make it low carb, and it's still gonna taste just as good, if not better, but it's not gonna make you feel full and heavy and bloated, and also give you that food coma that pasta usually gives you, okay? So I'm gonna whip these up super quick. I want you to see how easy these are to put together, because sometimes during the week we are super busy, we don't have time to like actually make a full dinner, and we end up eating just like junk or just kind of snacky. These are just dishes that are, again, 10 minutes, and you have enough for dinner and leftovers for the next day, okay? So here we have our chicken fettuccine Alfredo, okay? And of course we have a hack. This is one of my most popular recipes. It actually went mega viral on Instagram. Thousands and thousands of people made it, and every single time people were obsessed with it, okay? They actually put it on repeat into their like food calendar. So I want you to try it. If any of these, now all of them are gonna be delicious, but this one here is one of the easiest to make as well. So I really want you to try it, because if you're someone that doesn't cook a lot at home, this is like a very beginner recipe, but you're going to love it and your family will too. You can, now if you wanna make this even easier, you can buy a store-bought Alfredo, but I also wanna show you how easy it is to put one together from scratch. Okay, so we're gonna start. Our pasta, instead of using pasta, we are using broccoli. Okay, so we are gonna add the broccoli right into the dish, and I'm gonna use this bowl to make our sauce. We also have some chicken. So I just did chicken breast. You can use your favorite chicken. It can be chicken thighs. You can even grab a rotisserie chicken. So think about it. You're at the grocery store, grab your Alfredo sauce, grab a rotisserie chicken, grab a bag of broccoli, and you can literally throw this together in like 2 minutes. Toss it in the oven, and your dinner is going to be phenom. You can pair it with garlic bread, a gluten-free garlic bread, or even make like a low-carb garlic bread. I do have some on my channel, so I will leave that linked in the description below. But like, I feel like pasta dishes like this just go so well with like something garlicky and cheesy on the side. So anyway, but I just want to show you, the whole point to that is letting you know how easy it is to actually throw these dinners together. So we have our pasta. Now we have our chicken, okay? So you just kind of like dump everything into your bowl, and you don't really have to worry about like prepping so much, you know? It's just like into the bowl. Now in here, we are going to make our sauce. So if you're not gonna go buy a bottled and jarred Alfredo sauce, then this is how you're gonna make it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some butter. Now you can go a little lighter, okay, if you're someone who really is really looking out for your calories. Now don't get me wrong, I'm always about, hey, be conscious about your calories, but this sauce is gonna be for the whole casserole. You're not just gonna serve this, you know what I mean? It's not just for one serving, so you don't have to be so worried about it. But I'm gonna show you how you can make it much lighter right now when we get to the milk. Okay, so now we have our cream cheese, which is almost pretty much softened. But since I don't want to blend it, I'm gonna soften this even more. So I'm gonna put it into the microwave just for like 20 seconds. So I'm pretty sure that is softened now. Yeah. So do you see how this is now almost just like cream? Okay, so we have our butter, we have our cream cheese. Now, I'm gonna show you a hack to make this very low calorie. So you would also half the butter, okay? Because the butter is just gonna add to the richness and creaminess of the sauce, but it will still be creamy, trust me, it will. What you can do, so we have 2 different milks, okay? We have a heavy cream, which is obviously just cream, and then we have our half and half, which is cream and milk. So I also have like a lactose-free milk that is very low carb. I use that as well. I just don't have any right now on hand. So what you can do is, instead of using a heavy cream that's very dense in calories, you can actually do half and half mixed with almond milk. Okay, so you can do both of those. Yeah, it really just depends on your goals. Now, if we're talking about flavor and you're just like, Myra, I just want the best, like creamy, rich, like Alfredo sauce, then I would probably go with like a heavy cream. I would do heavy cream and a little bit of milk because too much heavy cream is also just like really, really thick. So even just like all half and half would be just as good. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with some half and half, okay? So as long as your ingredients are all room temperature, this is what it's gonna look like. Do you see that? It is nice and thick and creamy already. And remember, I used a half and half, so you don't have to use the heavy cream to get a thick, creamy sauce. Now, instead of using almond milk or water or additional milk, I'm gonna use bone broth to really just bring up the nutritional value in my dish. Bone broth is super, super nutritious. It is loaded with protein. This little guy right here has 20 grams of protein. Okay, so that's why I make a lot of my soups and a lot of my dishes. I use bone broth. My favorite brand is Kettle on Fire. I've been using them for like 8 years. I know I'm not gonna make my own bone broth, okay? Because we can all make our own bone broth, but it takes like 24 to 36 hours to make. So I just stock up on it. I do. I have like 10 boxes of it. I use it, sometimes I drink it in the morning just to break my fast. I use it in my soups. I use it in my dishes. Instead of using water, you just know that you're getting so much more nutrients. It's super gut healing. It's loaded with collagen. I mean, there's just so many benefits to it. And this is great if you have kiddos and they don't like to eat, you know, like they just don't like to eat a lot of nutritious foods. You can make their soups, like even, you know, those little star soups, you can make it with bone broth because then it has that protein. You know, a lot of kiddos, I know how they are. My kid was never like that, but I know that kids are like that. So I just add that instead of using water or instead of using a different liquid. So I just add that much more nutrients. And I do have a discount code for Kettle and Fire, so I will leave that linked in the description below for you. And I'll leave a QR code here on the screen. So my discount code is LowCarbLove20, and that gets you 20% off. So stock up. Here come the holidays. Soup season is coming. So you can definitely make sure that you are, you know, you're making these soups that are super nutrient dense for your family. And yeah, it's just great for your gut. So anyway, we have that in here now. For the cheese, okay, so now Parmesan cheese. I grabbed this one, it's just grated Parm. You just wanna measure this with your heart. Okay, and we are gonna add a little bit of cheese on top. I'm just not gonna do Parm because I want it to look, you'll see what I'm talking about, but it's gonna look like nice and golden brown and cheesy. It's just like one of those dishes that is so appealing, like to the eye. It's just like very aesthetic. So, okay. So here is our sauce. Now, the only thing missing is a little bit of seasonings, which I keep it pretty basic. An Alfredo sauce is pretty basic. You want garlic, salt, pepper. If you want to do like onion powder, stuff like that, you definitely can. But like a traditional sauce is usually, you don't have to add a bunch of seasonings to it. And we have our pepper, and then of course, a little salt. And this is how you make a homemade sauce. It's literally butter, it's cream cheese, some Parmesan cheese, some cream. Again, if you wanna make it a little lighter like me, then use some bone broth. It also adds nutritional value to it, and you're saving on half the calories. So this is how I make this dish a lot lighter. And now we are just going to pour this right on top. And we're gonna make it extra saucy, okay? Oh yeah. This is what you want it to look like, right? So it's like juicy enough. See how you could still see that there is like sauce in there, right? Look at that. Like it is still juicy, but it's not like wet, you know? Like where you're like, oh, it just feels watery. Absolutely not. Like I have made this at least 10 times and every single time it is gone in a jiff. So there we are. First casserole is pretty much done. All we're gonna do is top it with some extra cheese. So I feel like for something like this, like mozzarella just works so well, but you could also do just some extra Parm. I just like the way mozzarella browns, like it browns on top and then it just looks really, really pretty. And there you have it. Look at that. So you have a low carb chicken fettuccine Alfredo with our little hat. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside. We're moving on to the next. All right, guys, so moving on to our second dinner option. So we have like a caprese, think of like a caprese salad, right? Which is typically served at a restaurant. You have your heirloom tomatoes, your fresh mozzarella with some fresh basil, finish it off with some glaze. So basically that is the idea here, but making it into a full meal. Literally the easiest thing, okay? Now you can serve this, something like this could be served over pasta. We're not gonna do that, obviously. Now, clearly I love broccoli, and not only that, but I also bought a big bag of it, so we're gonna use it for these recipes. So we're gonna start off just by dumping it right into our dish. Now I do want our broccoli to have some flavor, so we are gonna do a little bit of olive oil. Okay, and you could do some avocado oil. You could do like a little spray or something. I'm gonna just kind of season our broccoli because our veggies should always be seasoned. Now we have our chicken. So this right here is what makes it a full meal, right? So look at this. We have a good amount of chicken, which this is already seasoned. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of spread it. But I mean, this one here, 2 minutes, like, and if you do the rotisserie chicken, you know, all you have to do is shred it or cut it or whatever you want. But this is one of my favorites. It is so good, super flavorful. Now, you can use 2 things, okay? So you can use heirloom tomatoes. This is what I have on hand. I have some Roma tomatoes, okay? I also have these right here, which are sun-dried tomatoes, which would go really, really well with this dish. But I don't want my tomatoes to go bad, so I'm gonna use those. So you could use either or for this, okay? If you do these, you don't even have to bring out a knife. Literally just like toss the jar right in. And what we're gonna do is line up our tomatoes. I would put the tomatoes on top because I think they look pretty, but in this case, I do want the fresh mozzarella because I want to finish it off with a broil, and I think it's gonna give it like just a really nice look on top. You know, personal preference. You can do as you please. Just make it because it's worth it. Okay, and now look at this. So this is like fresh mozzarella. You can literally get this at your local store. I think we got this one at Ralph's. They have it at Costco. So now look at that. So you have an entire little concoction here. We have the broccoli well seasoned, chicken is well seasoned, so that's full of flavor. Then you have your tomatoes. I could have put a little bit of salt on that and some Italian seasoning, but it's okay, no big deal. So now what we're gonna do is literally finish it off. A little bit of olive oil. And you know what? Since I didn't do it on the tomato, we're gonna do it on our mozzarella. I'm also just gonna finish off with just a tiny bit of salt, because at the end of the day, you just want that flavor, you know? And guys, this is it. It literally took, I don't know what. I mean, this, because I had everything right in front of me, took like 1 minute. But if you're grabbing everything from the fridge and all of that, I mean, from literally in 5 minutes, you will have this entire casserole put together. This is also going to go into the oven. I'm actually going to put all 3 casseroles in. And guys, I do have my ebooks. I actually have an entire casserole ebook. So if you like dishes like this, I have an ebook that shows all my most popular casseroles. I also have a weight loss guide. So if you're someone who is trying to start a weight loss journey, maybe you're stuck, you hit a plateau, or you just don't know where to start, then I'm gonna leave that linked for you. Grab it. It's gonna be so helpful. It has step-by-step on what to do, what to eat, when to eat. I even talk about intermittent fasting, how that was super helpful for me. Okay, I have everything from dressings to desserts to just like my most popular recipes across the board. So I will leave all of that linked, because I know that when you are trying to eat healthy, you are trying to stick to low carb, sometimes what makes it hard is just not knowing what to eat. Okay, so second casserole done. We're gonna move on to our next, and then we're getting all 3 of these into the oven, and I cannot wait for you to see how they turn out. All right, guys, so I have everything here for our last casserole. So this one here is a Southwest casserole. You could definitely add in some black beans. You can add in some corn. Of course, both of those have carbs, a lot more carbs. So if you want to keep this like as low carb as possible, then you can just follow exactly what I'm going to do here. But if you have kiddos, or you're still keeping it low carb, but you're not super strict with your macros, then definitely add the corn and add the beans, because it obviously does add to the dish. Okay, so this is how you make this. Very easy. We have cheese. I just put them in bowls. I do have just some yellow bell pepper, so it's what I'm going to use. You can do the green, the red, or the yellow, or mix them all together. I do have some jalapenos for a little kick. And then just to make it easy, pick up a thick and chunky salsa. Okay, now you don't have to use the cream cheese. I'm gonna use it. I think it adds to the texture. It makes it nice and creamy. It makes it rich. And I really think it takes it to the next level, okay? So we're gonna start off. So I'm going to just soften this for about 15 to 20 seconds. It's just gonna make it much easier to mix in the salsa, okay? And toss that in. Chunky salsa. I just got like an organic one from my local store. Okay, now remember, if you want it creamier, just add the whole cream cheese. I'm doing half. It's still gonna be nice and creamy. This is what it's looking like, okay? This is actually bomb with chips, okay? If you have homemade chips or just your favorite chips, you could serve this dip at a party and it will be gone, because it's just like, who doesn't like creamy salsa? You know what I mean? Okay, so what we're gonna do is just throw in our chicken right into the salsa. Okay, okay, now this is a lot of chicken. I did add a good amount of chicken. Okay, and we are gonna add in our bell peppers. I feel like I'm just gonna top this with cheese, but I don't know, I feel like I wanna add a little bit inside. Let's just add a little, just so that when you're, you know, kind of like biting into it, you have a little bit of cheese in there too. So this is what it's gonna look like. Looks nice and juicy. Okay, think about it with all the toppings. You can use your favorite toppings of choice that you typically would add inside of a Southwest, like think of a salad, think of a like Southwest bowl. But this here is just a very, very low carb, weight loss friendly version, okay? So now it's going right into our casserole. We do finish it off with some toppings. I always like to add a little bit of green to it. So this here is a sharp cheddar. And then we're gonna finish it off with our mozz, and this here is gonna give it just that nice golden brown crust, right? Because it's gonna get nice and cheesy. And we also have some jalapenos. Now, jalapenos are obviously optional, but if you like a little kick, then you will do this. You could also make like homemade tortilla strips, usually with like a Southwest bowl. It usually has like some crispy tortilla chips on top. That would go really, really well. But there you have it here. So Southwest, okay? We have our Southwest bowl. We have our caprese and our fettuccine, our chicken fettuccine Alfredo. I guess I can't say fettuccine, but yeah, our chicken Alfredo would be the correct term. But here are all three meals. Very, very easy. It took me less than 10 minutes to put each one of these together. High protein, weight loss friendly. They're super delicious, super nutritious. And these are definitely crowd pleasers. Like these are those dishes that you can put on the table and you know 100% everyone around there is going to love them, okay? So my oven is preheated. We have it at 375. I'm gonna put them all in there because I want them all to come out at the same time. And I want you just to see how gorgeous these look, okay? So they're going in and I cannot wait to show you once they come out. All right, guys, look at this. So this is what you're gonna be looking at, okay? This is what you're gonna pull out of your oven. This is what you're gonna serve for your family. So this here is the caprese chicken bake. We have our Southwest, and then of course our chicken Alfredo bake, okay? So for this one here, the only thing we are gonna top it off with is a little bit of glaze. And if you are trying to keep your sugar super, super low, they do have a low sugar one that is made with allulose. So just so you know that that does exist, because I didn't know that. And then you just wanna, you know, do a little something like this. Because what happens is like the glaze is just such a great balance for this. And that's why caprese salads are always served with some balsamic. Just again, because it is, it just balances out like the acidity from the tomato, and then it also adds just to the overall experience. So, oh my God, I don't even know which one I want to taste first. Okay, so this is what we're all gonna have. So we're actually going to have this for lunch. Typically I would make one of these for dinner, but we're just gonna go in and try this Southwest. I'm gonna dig into a little jalapeno. Oh my gosh, do you see that? Like, oh my goodness. This is gonna be so rich and creamy. I already know because I've made this so many times. Cheers. Don't skip out on the cream cheese. The cream cheese just gives it like a creaminess, like richness that you definitely want for this. Serve this with rice. You can serve it over a salad or with a side salad. I'm trying to think of what else could you serve this with? I mean, honestly, I'd eat it just by itself, like just as is. It's so delicious. So 10 out of 10. This one I've made like a million times, I already know. I'm just gonna have to dig in here because it's like, it just looks perfect. Get a little bit of everything. Cheers. It's so good. They're just all good. This one doesn't pack as much flavor as this. It just depends on what you're craving. Because this is chicken, cheese, tomato. Finish it off with the glaze. It's just like a perfect combination of flavors, but it's very different. And here you already know an Alfredo sauce, super creamy, super decadent. You have the chicken, you have the broccoli. You could serve this over like a zoodles. Serve it with your garlic bread. But all of these are phenomenal, okay? Just do one for funsies. Cheers. This one here is one of my all-time favorites. I feel like it is so easy to throw together. You can literally make it once a week and be happy every single time you eat it. Guys, I'm telling you, this right here, 3 casseroles in less than 10 minutes each, full of protein. They're weight loss friendly. They are definitely a crowd pleaser. They're super, super nutrient dense. So anyone that you make, you're gonna love. I'm gonna leave these all linked. Recipes will be in the description below. Like this video, you like these ideas, show me some love. Go hit that like button. Guys, don't forget to share this with friends and family, whether they're on a weight loss journey, maybe they're just trying to make healthier choices in their life, or even diabetic. A lot of the recipes that I have here on my channel are also diabetic friendly, okay? You never know, they could be really, really helpful. But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.